Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Felicia and I'm a freelance photographer based in Michigan, and this is my 2016 Toyota Rav 4 with a bed platform that actually sleeps 2 people pretty comfortably, and it cost us less than $60 to build in about 2 hours of our time. You guys have been asking me to make a video showing you guys how we built that, so that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Even if you don't have a Rav 4, these concepts can really apply to any basic SUV. Your measurements might just be a little bit different. What I think makes my build different than most that I've already seen is that I can completely break down this platform in less than 30 seconds without any tools and still be able to use my back seat with the platform inside. So essentially this platform just kind of stays in the car all the time now. We actually used the car camp just on the seats without this platform, and that worked for the first few trips, but the second that I realized how much I loved car camping, I knew I wanted to make it a lot more comfortable for longer trips. We've already camped on this platform at least 6 or 7 times, and I can honestly say that it feels like I have a real bed in the back of my car. I first want to preface this by saying that both Andrew and I have no real woodworking experience, and I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it actually was, but with a little bit of guidance from YouTube, we made a plan, showed it to my grandpa who literally knows how to build everything, and he told us that we would easily be able to build it in a couple of hours. So needless to say, I was pretty excited. Now unfortunately we didn't film too much while we were actually building, so I'm going to do my best to walk you through the steps that we took, and hopefully it all makes sense. For the supplies that we used, the first thing was a 3/4 inch plywood sheet for the base of the platform, 2 2x4s for our legs, 9 drop pins, some indoor-outdoor carpet, carpet tape, a leftover piece of 4x4 wood that we had as extra support, and we already had a drill and some screws, and then my grandpa actually had a circular saw, but you don't really need this because any hardware store will actually cut the plywood for you. Now the first thing that we actually did was a ton of research. There's all kinds of YouTube tutorials and blog posts out there with a ton of different amazing SUV platform builds, but a lot of them are super complicated and more expensive and more permanent. I knew that we weren't going to be like living in this. This is just going to be kind of for like extended road trips. So I just really wanted ours to be as simple and as cheap as possible. We basically just need somewhere to sleep on long road trips, so we're not wasting a bunch of money on hotels. In terms of what I knew that we wanted, I knew I wanted it to be cheap. I wanted it to be easy to break down and set up without needing any tools. I wanted it to be comfortable, sleep 2 people comfortably, storage underneath for our camera gear. I still want to be able to use my back seats. And we wanted it to be easy to build, obviously. And like I said before, this whole thing cost us less than $60 in about 2 hours of our time. Alright, so the next step that we actually took was doing your measurements and measuring the entire car. First you want to measure from the very top of your seats all the way to back here, and then you want to measure the width, which we did just above this wheel well from there to there. We actually wanted enough room to fit 2 people comfortably, like I said, so we made ours the entire width. We didn't want any gaps here for things to fall down, but I've seen some people who's only one person actually only using half of the platform and using the other side for like storage or whatever you really want. So the dimensions will totally be up to you. Our dimensions after measuring came out to be 64 inches long by 43 inches wide. So we made 2 identical pieces that are 32 inches long by 43 inches wide that can stack on top of each other perfectly. But once you have your measurements, then it was time to actually go get the wood. So we went to Lowe's for our wood, and like I said, we bought 1 3/4 inch plywood sheet and 2 2x4s. We had our 1 big piece split into 2 32-inch pieces. So after we had our plywood, it was time to start building the first portion of the platform. This part of my car is actually completely flat. Before you get to the seats, that is where it starts to slope. So we built this portion of the platform first. So for this part was pretty simple. We just cut our legs to be 9 inches since that's how tall we knew we wanted it to be. And since it's completely flat, we just screwed all of these in so they stay permanently, and now this part's ready to go in the car. Had to adjust our little mat a little bit, and yeah, now this part is in and pretty much built. All right, so now that the platform is actually in here, just need to build this part, and this is when we decided to actually just put 2 2x4s there. I don't know if you can see it here, but this was our original leg, and we just made another 2x4 that we put right on it so that it kind of rests like that. It basically makes this lip right here, so we're able to just rest the platform on that, and then we can just measure what this needs to be for the other legs. Now we're just going to slide it over right and rest on this lip. Here it is. So now we just have to measure from here to the ground how long we need our other legs to be to make this entire thing stable and flat. And for us, that was 20 inches. So we cut our 2x4s to 2 20-inch pieces, and it might be different on each side. You just really have to measure it. And we basically just kind of set them flat in here like that. And then we take this, put it over, and there it is. All right, and as you can see, they sit flat and all of this is flat. So now we just have to secure these in. And I assumed we were gonna just basically use screws like we did with the trunk piece, but I actually saw this video on YouTube where this girl used drop pins to secure hers, so you can easily remove it in and out without using any tools. And to be honest, I didn't even really know what a drop pin is. This is what a drop pin is, and that's what she called it in the video, but this was actually called a threadless bolt. When we went to Home Depot, nobody knew what these were, and we had a really tough time finding them. So when you're drilling the holes for these, you want to make sure you can try to clamp, if you have a clamp available to you, clamp these together. So you're drilling right through this and this to make sure it's one straight clean cut. So you can just insert your drop pins like that. And that's how easy they drop in and out. And here's what the holes look like. So like I said, as long as you drill it through this, it should be a nice clean hole. So once you have all of your holes drilled and you set it up on top, you just drop these pins in, and look at how easy that goes in. And now this part is secure, and just do that for all 4 corners here. Into each hole. Then, let's see. I'm really reaching across over here. Let me hop up here. Oh! There's another one. And there it is. So now this is completely secure. I can actually get in here. All right, and now we're both inside. This can hold all the weight of us. I weigh like 130. Andrew probably weighs 160, 170. And we are completely inside, holding all of our weight with the drop pins and the screws. So now I'm gonna show you what's probably my favorite part. All right, so we are going to remove these drop pins, move this, and stack it right on top so we're able to fold our seats and use those. So let's see how long that takes. Drop pins come out super easy. So 2 there, 4 total, other side. And we take these out. We usually just put these in a bag and keep them right behind here, but I'm just gonna put them in my pocket for now. And then we take this and boom, slide it right on top. It was a little bit more of a take these out, and that's it. Now these can fully sit up. And there we go. How long did that take? Probably less than 30 seconds that time as well. Like I said, we usually keep these drop pins right behind there so we don't lose them. It's never a bad idea to have 2 extra ones. And then we put these legs just underneath these seats here. And yeah, the back seats are fully functional. And another reason I love this is because now that our seats are fully functional, these stacked right on top of each other kind of form in like a shelf. So now I have double the storage space that I would have beforehand. You put stuff underneath and on top. And if you put stuff underneath, when you look in, you really can't see it. I honestly love this part. It came out a lot better than I thought. I was kind of skeptical to use the drop pins, but it works amazing, and it turned out to be probably my favorite part of the whole build. And now as you can see, we obviously have carpet on here. So one of the last things that we did was throw some indoor-outdoor carpet. I think it was like 50 cents per square foot at Home Depot. Got some carpet tape and laid it on the platform, laid this on top and just cut it off. That's pretty self-explanatory. So the last thing that we actually did at the very end is we had a couple of pieces of scrap wood laying around, this 4x4 here, and we just actually added a couple extra support beams. We added one here that we drilled in, and then we actually have one that also sits on the other side of this platform. So that's probably not necessary, but you can add that if you want. But yeah, that's basically it in terms of the building of the platform. And I like to be super comfy when I camp, and that's exactly what this platform allows for. So I'm actually going to show you guys how we set this up to sleep in, because that's also super simple and cheap as well. All right, so for the mattress, we actually just use these really cheap Walmart like foam mattress pads. We stacked like 3 of them. It's not super even right now, and these are all like, they've been kind of tied up for a while, so they look really weird, but it actually is super duper comfortable. And I think that these foam mattress toppers cost maybe 10 bucks at Walmart, but it's actually surprising how comfortable it is. And then we actually just put it's like a king size sheet that we put over this, and it basically turns it into a little mattress. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's a little bit big, and we gotta kind of straighten it out there, but essentially this is all we use for our mattress. I personally hate sleeping bags, so we just use like a regular comforter. I bring my comforter from home. I actually have one we specifically use for camping, and regular pillows, because like I said, I like to be as comfy as possible. So we're gonna hop in here and show you guys what it's like when we're actually in there. All right, so I usually like to get in from the back just because it's a little bit easier. And Andrew is what, 6'3"? 6'3", and I'm 5'3", and as you can see, I don't know how much room you can see, but we actually have quite a amount of space here. And I would say about the only downside is you can see I don't have a lot of headroom, and that's because we made our platform 9 inches tall. So had we have made it maybe 6, we'd have a lot more headroom. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you're doing your own build. Another thing you can actually do is I've seen some people add an extension hinge that goes onto this part, because if you actually want to push these seats up all the way, you have a lot more room and you can actually extend it with an extender hinge. So that's definitely something to think about possibly, because sometimes when this seat is pulled back a little bit, there's like some space right here that my pillows and stuff can fall through, but overall it's not too bad. One last thing that I actually might add is some type of like, you'll see a lot of builds that have a drawer system, and like I said, ours was just meant to be simple and cheap, but it would be really nice to have some type of like table thing that slides out that we're able to place stuff on. So that might be something that we do in the future for sure. I forgot to mention this part, but this is what it looks like when we're out camping, and as you can see, we have tons of stuff stored under there, so you don't really need drawers. You still have tons of storage space. And I am actually going to be making a video all about all of the accessories and the must-have stuff that we take when we go car camping, and I do actually have a couple videos already of us camping in this, 5 or 6 different videos that you guys can watch if you're interested to see this platform actually in use. And I also created an entire blog post going through all of the steps, all of the directions, and the dimensions that we use for this. If it's a little bit easier for you to follow in a blog post than it is for a video, I'll link that in the description for you guys as well. That's pretty much going to be it for this video. I hope you guys maybe got some ideas for your own build if you're going to build one. And if you guys actually decide to try to build one, let me know. It's really cool to know that these videos are actually helping you guys, because that's what I did, is watch one video and was like, that doesn't look so hard, I think I can do that. So that's exactly what we did. And also, if you guys have any questions at all about this build, about your build, or anything at all, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to help with this. So yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully out winter camping. Peace.